Welcome to the Path to Mindset Mastery. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brad Bizak. I am a mindset coach and inspirational speaker and the creator of the online mindset course Appreciation Academy. And today's topic is a special one because it has to do all about spousal support in business. How many of you have ever felt like you go after your dreams, but you feel like your spouse doesn't support you or believe in you? And if that's the case, I want to show you something today about just why it's not true. It's not true that they don't support you and believe in you. It's not true at all. And if you're struggling with that, I'm going to show you how to communicate in a better way so you guys get along better and you can get on the same team as you're on the path to building your business. So as business owners, we are so critical of our spouses, right? And today you're going to learn not only how to be not critical of them, but you're also going to learn some great ways that they can help support you as well. So get them to watch this video, listen to this podcast, and we'll go from there. So we're so critical of our spouses, right? The slightest feeling of them questioning you feels like the world's going to freaking end, right? Like, you say you want to invest in a specific training to grow your business and you know it will really help and you absolutely should do it. You know that. And your spouse goes, wait, do we really have the money to do that? Or wait, have we really thought this through? And you immediately go into, you don't know shit. You're not a business owner. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what I mean. You don't know what I need. You don't support me. And you get all defensive. If that is you, just throw some love on this, because even if the slightest comment comes off wrong to you, what happens is you get super defensive, right? So ask yourself this. If a best friend, a mentor, or someone that you knew closely that wasn't your spouse were to bring up the same question, would you respond in the same way you do to your spouse? Right? It's really easy to get defensive with them because they're a really easy target. And Janice and I have this joke, right? And this is one of the ways that we learn to communicate is I just want to feel like she's supporting my business, that she's supporting my goals. And Janice even quotes, and I have this up on my computer here, she says, and I quote, I try to be supportive and ask questions like, well, how would that work? And how can we afford that? And without even realizing it, I come off as not being supportive. The questions are all coming from a place of caring and wanting to protect my spouse, and I never even realized the negativity I was giving off until Brad called me out on it. That is a direct quote from Janice, right? So your spouse, when they come off as defensive, we need to realize something. Instead of them being an easy target to let that frustration come out on when you're not satisfied with where you are, realize that they absolutely love you. They just want to protect you from pain, right? A good example with this is the price of my online course, right? We had it at a specific price and we wanted to, and I wanted to increase the price. I wanted to get it to a higher price point. I thought it was worth more value. And we hadn't had a lot of success with the price point at a lower amount. And when I said that to Janice, she did not think it was a good idea, right? But the reason she said she didn't think I should do that, the reason she said that she thinks it's not going to work is not because she doesn't love me. It's not because she doesn't believe in me. It's because she doesn't want to see me get hurt, right? She doesn't want to see me go through all this pressure, all this amount of time trying to build a business and have it not work and me come up short, right? That's why she says those things. It has nothing to do with her not believing in me, anything like that at all. It is simply her trying to protect me from pain of failure, right? So we've had to talk about that, and one of the things that I can do is have compassion for her, right? Love her. Even if Janice doesn't understand, we need to realize as business owners that our spouse is scared. They want to feel that you love them during those times. They want to hold on to you. They're not trying to ruin you. They freaking married you, right? And you can't love them if you're judging them. So if you judge them at the first sign of them saying that you doing X, Y, or Z in your business, if the first thing you do is get defensive and judge them for having a question, right? They're gonna get defensive every time the topic of business comes up, and that's caused by you. So have compassion for them. Realize that they're going through a tough time. They want to protect you. They want to make sure that you're safe. To them, when you're starting out and you're not making money, think about this. Every leap of faith feel everything that you do in your business feels like you're pouring your heart and soul into something that won't work. You invest hours away from them, so they're going to want to protect that time that they have with you because they love you. So what can you do about this to make the communication of this whole building a business idea become easier? I have a bunch of points for you that you can write down. So number one, include them. I started doing this and it's a huge help. Include them in your business. Ask them for advice, even if you're not going to use the advice. Ask them for advice. Help them feel valued. Include them, and especially share the wins, right? Think about this. Most of the time when a new business is starting off, you're sharing all the things that are going wrong. And in your spouse's mind, if they're trying to protect you from pain, they're going to be like, well, then why are you spending your time doing this? But if you start sharing the wins, like, hey, I got this done today, or hey, I helped this person with this today, you start sharing the wins instead of the frustrations with them, they're going to feel more excited because they can see you excited along the way. Does that make sense, right? So include them and ask for their advice, include them in some way, and share the wins. Number two, tell them why you're doing this, right? A lot of the time we just start a business or an online MLM or whatever it is. We just start and we refuse to include them in why we're doing this because we're afraid they're going to reject that idea. Tell them the freedom you want to create for them. Tell them why you want to build this. Help them understand why this is so important to you and picture their life a couple years down the road. Include them in that deep, passionate reason you're doing this, right? Think about it like this. If you include them and focus on the fact that this is our business, not my business, our business, that's going to make a huge difference, right? They're going to feel a sense of ownership. They're going to feel part of it, right? So with Janice and my business, it is our business. It's not my business and she tags along. It is us. We're together as a team, as a unit. Even though she does behind the scenes stuff and helps me out with that, it is still our business. And then we can take ownership together. So when I share these things with her, we feel on the same page like we're going somewhere. Next thing is to give them fully present time away from your business. And this is so critical, right? So important. Give them time where you can truly focus on them and be 100% just with them. Put the phone away, put the MacBook away, put it away and be fully present with them. You're going to have to make sacrifices to build your business, but a lot of the times that grasping that you feel coming from your spouse is just them feeling like they don't want to lose you, right? They don't want to let go of you. They don't want to see that you're going to disappear. So when that happens, like, schedule time in your business calendar to spend just no distraction time with them. And I guarantee you it's going to help because they're going to feel like they're not losing you because you still show that they are valued. Does that make sense? Next thing, as a business owner, before I get into the things that your spouse can do to support you, next thing is to do it anyways. Do it anyways. This is so important. And if your spouse doesn't agree with something that you're doing, and unless it's like a massive expense that would totally screw over your family, if it's something where it's like a strategy in business or it's some way to go about it, and they disagree with you, my advice is do it anyways if you know it's right. Absolutely do it anyways. Because even though it might be against their advice, keep in mind that they haven't studied what you've studied. They haven't learned what you've learned. They don't have the mentorship that you have, right? Their opinions are mostly based out of fear and trying to protect you from pain. So if you notice something like this coming up in your business where you have this opportunity to do something, do it anyways, even if they disagree, and include them on why you decided to do that. Okay, and this is the biggest one. The next one is the biggest point that you could have and take away from this. Communicate that your spouse is hurting your feelings. Communicate it. They probably have no idea they're even doing it. And do it in a way that's a request, not a demand, right? Requests will give direction to love. Demands will stop the flow of love in your relationship. When you say, stop judging me, when you say, stop being unsupportive, that is not requesting them to do anything. That's you demanding. But if you focus on, hey babe, when you say this, and this, it makes me feel like you're kind of unsupportive and don't believe in me. That's kind of how it comes off, and it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I would absolutely love if you just let me know, like, hey, I support you, I believe in you, I just want you to succeed. Let's think about these things, right? Give requests instead of demands. Janice started doing this when it came to my business. She would say, like, we had this joke, like, I just want to hear that my dress is pretty. Right? You don't need to tell me how to change everything. I just want to hear that I look nice, right? So she goes, Brad, your dress is really pretty, You're doing an amazing job with your business. You're doing a great job. Your dress is pretty. This is something that came up and is on my mind. I'd love to chat with you about it so we can work through it together, right? She's still acknowledging that she cares about me, believes in me and my business and our business, right? I still have to check myself on that, right? And she also says that these are the things that are on my mind. So she communicates and requests. She doesn't demand, right? So that's another big point, guys. And next is have empathy. Have some empathy. If you're a business owner, think about this for a second. Like, step into the common sense corner. If you're a business owner, in most cases, you love risk. You love that uncertainty. You love the chase, right? Building a business is a tornado of uncertainty, right? It's high risk, and it's a long time of doing business before you get any reward for your hard work. So have some empathy and realize where your spouse is. If they are not a business owner, it's probably because they don't like risk. They probably value security a lot. They value certainty way more than you do. So have some empathy and understand where they're coming from. Understand that when they bring this up, they feel their need for certainty, their need for security is being threatened by you, the person they love most. So understand what's going on in their mind, realizing that they don't have that same need for uncertainty and risk and this big drive for creating something amazing and adventure as you do. They value certainty and security. Now, I know that helps as the business owner, but you also have a whole other side of the equation, which is your spouse. And if your spouse is watching this, amazing. If not, get them to listen. This will be super, super helpful. This is something Janice did to really help me, right? So as a spouse, realize that your business owner partner needs support. They need support. They do not need nagging. They need love now more than ever. Because think about this. They are doing one of the hardest things they have ever done. And when their rock, that person that's supposed to be their rock, dissolves and judges and complains and nags, you are causing them so much pain in the time they need you the most. It's going to cause resentment. So realize a couple things that you can do. One, have empathy for the fact that building a business takes work. It takes a lot of work. It's a tornado of long hours. It's high risk. It's all these things. It's so many things going on, right? And have empathy for the opposite of what you have, right? You have that value for uncertainty and for adventure, or you have that value for security. Your business owner partner has value for adventure. Your business owner partner has value for uncertainty, for risk. Most of the time, the spouse that's not the business owner craves certainty, right? So realize that your spouse's desire to create something beautiful in the world of uncertainty is just as strong and equally as important as your craving for certainty and no risk. Right? So have some empathy and understand where they're coming from. You might be thinking, like, really check yourself on this. If you're the certainty craving perfectionist type spouse or certainty craving anti-risk type spouse, you might be thinking, I can't take this much risk in my life. You might be thinking, why aren't we making money? Why is he doing this to us? Or why is she doing this to us? What the hell do we do here? Why is he or she working so many hours away from the family? And when you're thinking that, when you're spending your time going on that and judging your partner for doing these things against your expectations of them, here's what your partner's thinking simultaneously. When you're thinking that, your partner is thinking, what can I do to provide an amazing life for my family? Your partner is thinking, how can I step so far out of my comfort zone to give my husband or wife the life of their dreams? And I know this shit is scary. I know it takes risk, but I know I can do it because I can give more to my family. That's what they're thinking. Right? So realize that all this uncertainty and risk at the time where you need your certainty and anti-risk, right? All that uncertainty and risk is to give you and them more. That's what it is. And have some compassion for that. Number two that you can do if you're a spouse is understand that sacrifices will need to be made if your spouse is going to build a business. Sacrifices need to be made, right? They're probably building a business on top of another job. Right? If you think you are stressed as the spouse of the business owner, if you think that you are stressed about them spending time away from you, how do you think they feel if they have a job they don't want to be at, they have a dream they're currently unsuccessful at, they have a spouse who's nagging and holding them back, and they have the inability to express that because it makes you feel bad and they want to love you and that's the only reason they're doing this? Think about that. When the only thing they're trying to do is provide a better life for you, Give them a break. Give them a break and give them a hug. They just need a hug. They just need you to say, you can do this. That's it. They just need to hear, you can do this, I believe in you. I guarantee you, Janice wrote these words to me a couple months ago. She goes, I believe in you. That's all I need to hear. And my love language is words of affirmation, right? You might have a different love language. I highly recommend you read the book, Love Languages. Incredible book. But help them feel like you actually believe in them. Because if you are their rock and you are the only person that is nagging them and slowing them down, they're not going to feel supported by you. They're not going to feel that you believe in them, when in reality you just are afraid they're going to get hurt. So show them you believe in them. Give them your undying support and just have faith, right? Have faith. Sometimes you're craving as the certainty-driven partner, you are probably craving something like a guarantee. But as a certainty-driven partner, sometimes, especially with a business, you're going to need to realize that certainty can be found in faith. Certainty can be found by just trusting, just having blind faith in the person that loves you most, that they will never steer you wrong. And when you do that, when you have faith, you start to write notes like this. You start to make your spouse believe in you. And that is how Janice helped me feel like she believed in me. Even when she didn't agree on my decisions all the time, she started to believe in me as a person. Right? And that helped me feel more motivation to build my business. That fueled my fire. I felt on fire again. I created results faster, right? So become their cheerleader. And when you both combine these things, right? The certainty-driven, anti-risk spouse and the uncertainty, adventure-driven business owner. When you combine these ways of communication, that's all this is communication, guys. That's it. It's just communication. When you combine these things, and you be proactive on including them and welcoming them and being present for them and all those things that we talked about, and then they do the same thing and be your cheerleader and stop getting in your way and show support for you and have compassion and empathy. When that happens, the results of the business come so much faster because you're on the same team, you're more motivated, you're more present, and there's not as much stuff clearing or getting in the way of your noggin that's preventing your business, right? And when this is cleared out, you can go fire on 100 cylinders and you're going 100 miles an hour and your spouse still feels like you're present with them. It's an amazing thing. That's what happened with Janice and my business. That's why it's growing, right? So we're on the same team. It is not you against your spouse about the business. It is you and your spouse building a dream together. And that's what I want to leave you with. It is not you against your spouse focused on your business. It is you and your spouse building a dream together. So please share this if you found it valuable today. This is so important, guys. Spousal support can make or break a business. And this is near and dear to my heart because I thought for the longest time Janice wasn't supporting me when she loved me the most out of everything. And it just wasn't true. She supported me. She just was concerned and fearful that I was going to get hurt, right? Your spouse loves you. They want you to be successful. I promise you that. So share this if you found it valuable. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll chat soon.